Thanks for joining us on the show. Give a big warm welcome to my friend Connor Myers. He is a Christian country artist and he has an inspiring story. His whole musical journey is incredible. He's been in service for years. He is an amazing person, and you will walk away from this episode being encouraged and full of hope from his story into yours. Thanks, Connor, for being here. I'm so
Yeah,
happy you're here.
me too. You set the bar kind of high right there.
Oh my gosh.
Hope I can
You're
deliver on that.
you can. You're awesome. You're
Oh
awesome.
man.
So I know your story and I want to hear in your words, like when you go back in your head, just having this conversation,
hmm
when did you say, you know what, music is it for me? Was there kind of a big crossroad for that? Or did you just decide one day? Like, how did that give us a little idea of how that happened in your world?
It grew a little. I picked up. I tell everyone this story because it's the only truth I got. But I actually picked up a guitar that one of our corpsmen on my deployment in 2012. He brought on deployment with us, just in case anyone wanted to pluck
Wow.
around on it during some downtime. And I had played like a little bit of like Nirvana and other things on guitar when I
Uh-huh.
was younger, and it was a stressful time, like stressful, almost year-long deployment.
Because
So
you were in the Marine Corps, right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I asked him because no one was using it to use it, and he said, "Bro, it's all yours. Like, take it." And nobody's using it. We'd love to hear somebody play it.
Uh,
And so I just started playing songs I remembered how to, and then out of nowhere, just started writing music. And they were like terrible songs, like the worst songs. I would never play them in around here, or
okay, wait, do you still have them?
I still
I
remember a
love it.
few of them,
I
yeah,
love it.
but yeah, it's funny to watch yourself progress over years, but that's kinda where it started,
Uh-huh.
um, but I guess the crossroad was when I got out. I moved back to New Jersey with my wife, and, I was working night shift at a chemical plant, for about a year,
Mhm.
and I continued writing, and one night I wrote a song at, like, 2 in the morning because I was going back to work the next night, so I stayed up all night, and I was writing, and I wrote a song called, "Overseas," and I woke my wife up at like 2:30. I wrote it in like a half hour, and I was like, "Hey, I wrote
Oh,
this song. Can you listen to it?" And so I played it for her, and she cried. And so
wow.
she looked at me and she said, "I think we need to move to Nashville." And so I put in my week notice with my boss, and we packed a U-Haul in like 6 days, and we left. Uh,
Okay, that's amazing.
yeah,
I
it's
don't think I knew that part. I didn't realize that she was, like, instrumental in y'all getting
oh
here.
yeah, yeah. God's worked through her. Our entire marriage
Oh,
together. We've been together since we were 15, and she's
oh, I
kind of
love
been the
that.
rock the whole way. So.
Well, and the fact that you wrote a song by yourself in 30 minutes, because sometimes that can be tricky because when I work on my writing and I have a tendency to become a perfectionist.
Mhm.
And then I'm second guessing it all. And so the idea of doing it in 30 minutes and knowing that it just came out,
Yeah,
and then you woke her up and played it for her, and
for
then
sure.
she had that much of an emotional reaction, and you
Yeah.
go, yeah,
I
I
was not
got it
expecting
right.
that, yeah, like, I was taken back a little. I was
Oh,
scared to do it, and, like, she ultimately, like, pulled the trigger to move here,
to
so,
move.
yeah, it was pretty wild.
That's amazing. Okay, how long have y'all been in Nashville, in the area?
Since it's 10 years now, as
10.
of
Okay.
January, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our 10th year here. 10 years
That's
now.
incredible. And now you have 2
2
kids,
boys.
right?
Yeah, 2 boys.
I was trying to think of how old they're
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah, they feel like babies. Well, the one is a baby. Hudson just turned 3 yesterday. Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so I think I met you when y'all were pregnant.
Yes, yeah, and then you were at
That's
the Harpeth
amazing.
show, right? The
Yes.
Writers' Round? That's when he's born, he had been in the NICU for, like, 8 or 9 days, like, he was okay, uh, and I actually played the show still, like,
You d
at the
okay,
Harpeth.
okay, this is funny. See, there are a lot of really interesting connections around here.
Mhm.
Um, a friend and I went to that show. This is before I knew any of y'all or any of them. I didn't know Roger yet. I didn't and Roger Murrah,
Right.
who's been on the show, he was a big mentor
Good
and probably
friend.
still is for Connor. He's
He is.
amazing.
Yes.
And y'all did that writers round together, and your parents were sitting a few seats away from my friend and I.
Okay.
And
I didn't know
I
that.
don't know what you were talking about. I don't remember the story, but I remember you sharing something, and it might have been because I know there was kind of a turning point from the music you were writing and playing
Yeah.
to what
Big
you
time.
to what you do now.
Yes.
And um, whatever you were talking about, both of us looked at each other and we were crying.
Mm.
And she has kids. I don't have kids. And she had kids and she turned around, she goes, I don't know how his mother is sitting upright right now. I would be on the floor wailing. It
Oh,
was so
man.
sweet. Whatever it was just so touching. So
Yeah.
that's funny. I forgot about that moment, but that's the first time I heard you.
That's awesome because I try not to cry every time I play. Like, not for my own music, just because
You
the things.
listen, I it's amazing. So when you moved here, you were pursuing music,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah,
writing,
full time.
but you also had another job.
I do. I had a couple jobs. Yeah, I moved
Isn't
here
that
and
kind of the way?
yeah, I just had to
Yeah.
figure it out. I never planned on going to college. I was going to do some kind of trade or something. I was going to stay
Okay.
in the chemical industry or whatever. But when we got here, I had to make our rent money. Like I knew nobody. I had nothing. Like I think I had like less than $1,000 in the bank at the
Wow.
time. But it was kind of scary. But I just picked up and started playing on Broadway for the rent money. I started going to school full time. I ended up getting like my bachelor's and master's here during
Oh my
first few
word.
years. Yeah, I used the GI Bill from the
Yeah.
military to go to school, and then out of nowhere, my wife had been in like all these different fields of healthcare, like figuring out what she wanted to do, and then she ended up working for a chiropractor that like changed her life entirely. Like
Oh.
from asthma and allergies to all these things, like it was just like night and day when she started chiropractic, and so she told me like I want to do this, and so she applied to Logan University in St.
Oh my
Louis,
word.
Missouri, and got in. And she's like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "You go." Like you go. I joined the Marine Corps. I left. I was like, "You can do it." So she was about 5.5 hours away for almost 3 years, and I
Oh
got
my
a
gosh.
yeah, it's crazy. I got a job at Franklin PD because my dad was a cop my entire life, so I always wanted
Yeah.
to do that. Uh, and I did that just for a couple years, supporting her through it while I was going to school, while I was chasing music full time. So I never slept at all.
Okay, wait. So y'all are married. She's
Yeah,
away
yeah.
studying, you're here studying and
Hmm.
working and
Doing music.
chasing the music dream.
Yep.
That's commitment.
It was a
That's
lot. And I
amazing
was driving every weekend, basically 5.5 hours to be there.
to go
So,
see her.
hmm yeah.
And that
And I'm
was how
like,
long? 3.5 years?
it was about just over 3 years. Yeah. And then she came back here and got into the workforce and was doing her thing. So,
Okay, I have a sidebar question.
sure.
What, I think I might know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it.
Hmm.
Y'all are the definition of a cohesive team. Seriously. Like the
Yeah.
way I love that back and forth of how y'all have supported each other. And now 10 years down the road, and y'all are so strong, and you've got two kids, and you're both now full on pursuing your dreams.
Yeah.
What do you think is the key, if you could even put it into like a sentence? What's the key to that cohesion for y'all
Jesus.
as a married couple?
Jesus.
Yep.
Hmm.
That's
You can
what I
get me
thought you'd
emotional
say.
already on this.
You are. I thought you might
Yeah.
say that, but I
Yeah.
thought,
There's nothing else. Yeah. We we always knew we were supposed to be together.
mm,
We got married when we were 19.
I
So
love that.
it was really wild. I had to her it was such a crazy point in life then. But I actually told her when we were 15, the second day we hung out together, that I was going to marry her. We were hanging out in her
No
backyard in her house on her
way.
swing set, and I said to
Oh
her,
my
I was like,
gosh. I
"I'm going to marry
love
you someday." And
that.
she was like, "You're insane. What are you talking about?" And I said, "No, I already know who you are, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life." And
Oh, that's just amazing.
it was wild. But yeah, it has been a long time here, but I'm sure we'll get to more of that. But what the love only goes so far when, one of you is missing Christ. And she's
Mm,
had him her entire life. 'Cause thankfully, her grandmother, super faithful woman, big believer.
mhm.
And she grew up so much of the time with her grandmother. Her parents worked a lot, made a great living. They had a beautiful family, but her grandmother really instilled faith in her.
I love that.
Yeah. And so she is the strongest woman I've ever met. And a lot of people say that about their wife, but in a nutshell, I was broken in my younger years.
Mm,
during my time in the military,
Mhm.
uh, ironically from uh, my own people I worked with, and
Mm.
um, and so I think I kind of tucked all that away when I moved to Nashville because I just wanted to push through and
Mhm.
um, make our lives happen together. But the things you don't think are gonna haunt you for the rest of your life, you got to deal with them at some point.
That's so true.
And so moving here, I was just doing pop country music, and I had no clue what I was doing here. Like, didn't know a single person pursuing music. And ultimately, when I was a police officer, I dealt with someone who had went through some of the same things that I did as a victim.
Mhm.
Um, and at that point, I let myself feel it, the things that I went through.
Ah.
And so I didn't know why it bothered me so much because I just tucked it away for so long.
Mhm.
And ultimately, that kind of wrecked me spiritually, mentally,
Mhm.
everything. And that put probably at the worst point in our lives when she was in school, I was a
Mhm.
cop, just kind of ruined me mentally. I mean, brought me to the lowest point in
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
And then I was fortunate enough to get out of that job when I signed my first publishing slash artist deal with a guy named Ron and Yellow and Jason Wade, who's like the singer,
Mhm.
songwriter, Lifehouse.
Mhm.
And they worked with me for 2 years, and it was amazing. They were such awesome people to work with. And
Oh.
but during that time, we hit that 10-year anniversary point for Sarah and I, and it was either going to go one way or the other. It was either going to be, I don't know how graphic or the extent
Go
of what
for
I
it.
could say on this show, but
Go for it. It's family friendly, but
fr-
do what you need to.
family friendly.
There you
But I
go.
will give a little explicit alert
Okay.
here.
Yes. Yes. Good.
It got to the point where it's either going to be me taking my life or
Mm.
um, just continue on with the toxic and probably lose my
Mhm.
marriage,
Mhm.
lose everything. And I called on the name of Jesus. I called on him, and he showed up, and
Wow.
he delivered me from a lot of the things that we had been battling as a couple for
Mm.
uh, almost 7 years, almost 8 years of our marriage. And it was so profound
Mm.
finding Christ for me that just coincidentally, we made some friends that were so faithful in our community and that
Mhm.
we're still very good friends with now. And they invited us to Conduit Church. Like, I was saved on a Friday on our 10-year wedding anniversary. And they invited us to church on Sunday, my friends Sammy and Niels.
Oh my word.
And then I went and I was broken again in church because I just
Mm.
filled with the Spirit. And for the
Mhm.
first time that I can think of or remember, um, and that's when music took an entire shift of I wanted to pursue Christian country music.
Mhm.
I wanted to put Christ first because he saved my life, saved my marriage.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to put him first in everything I do. And when I went to Conduit, I saw their mission, what they were doing, and
Mm.
the worldwide, reach of what they do. If you don't know much about the Conduit mission, please look them up.
I
Like,
I'm going to because I
yeah.
I know a little about them, but
Oh
I
my
don't
goodness.
know that
Just
deeply.
just such faithful people to Jesus and just doing what they feel like the Lord's put on their heart to do as a church, and
Mhm.
it's incredible. And I thought that's what I want to do as an artist. No
I
matter
love
how
that.
small or big this thing goes, um, I want to do this. What Conduit is doing, I want to do that with music. So that's kind of the whole direction these days.
Wow. Okay. So, first of all, I want to say thank you for sharing that
Sure,
because you and I know we live in a broken world,
for sure.
and a lot of times we don't recognize that,
Mm,
but we do. And I think people today, there's a big mental health crisis going on in our world, and I think that the more we can say, here's what I went through, and here's what helped me, they can listen. Like somebody, hopefully, watching this will hear you, and some part of it will resonate if they're in a similar place. So I
yeah,
thank you for the vulnerability and the honesty because you didn't just go, oh, yeah, I had some hard times.
sure.
Because sometimes we hear that and go, oh, but if we're sitting in a dark place and we hear somebody go, oh, I had a rough patch, we're like, okay, you don't get me.
Hmm.
But with the way you said it and what you said, we get it. I mean, I've been teary listening to you. So thank you for
For
sharing.
sure.
And I love the testimony of it. And I love your just gut level honesty about, I was going to lose my life for my marriage.
Hmm.
And another huge thing, I'm going to say I'm painting with a broad brush. I've done this
Hey.
over many things, and I know our human tendency is if I shove it down far enough, or if I put it in this little box in my head and put it way back over
Right.
here, it's fine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We
I,
definitely
I'm, yeah,
compartmentalize as people for
yeah,
sure.
and I'm doing this all over here, and it's great. It's just
Yeah.
fine,
Mm.
but it's not because if it's hard stuff, we and painful and wounding and all the things, and we just keep shoving it, it's coming out
Mm.
sometime, somewhere, somehow. And so I just love the fact that you dealt with it and that you, in those moments, you turned to our Savior, Creator, and said, I'm done.
Help me.
Yeah, I'm done. Come do the work.
That's right.
And
Well,
sadly, that's sometimes where we all have to go. We have to get to a point we're so broken, there's nowhere to go but on our knees and looking up. So
mhm. It
I'm
could
so
feel
glad you did.
for sure,
And
for
you're
sure.
amazing, and your
That's
talent and your gifts are really incredible. And the fact that you're now, that's your goal to share them
yeah.
for him and look at your marriage. I mean, I know you walked through a lot and you had a lot of hard crossroads.
Mhm.
And I just want to say, wow, it's amazing that you made the choices you did.
Mm.
And now you're leading your family in a beautiful way.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. It's I definitely think that like you said, if anyone's like statistically, I
Yeah.
been the first person to say I hate statistics.
Yeah.
And all because I think everything's so fluid in life that
Mhm.
it's just
Mhm.
unpredictable. But statistically speaking,
Mhm.
a big portion of people watching this are going to be able to relate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like grieving. If you don't allow yourself to feel those things and go through all the process, you end up just tucking it away, and it's going to come back one day. So
Mhm.
my whole goal now is look at not to be the artist on the platform. It's not to be what I initially moved here for. Because if I just moved here because I love music,
Yeah.
I would have just stayed in New Jersey and played at coffee
Yeah.
shops or shows there. I moved here with intent of making a living out of this.
Yes.
Um, and not that there's anything wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
There's,
Nope.
I still plan on doing that for my family. But I just think that I think I got sidetracked there. But
That's okay. You go where you want.
well,
This is
I,
your conversation.
basically the whole point of it is to let people know, be so transparent with them that look what the person I was,
Yeah.
basically rejected God, and look at where I came from, and where I am today is nothing to hide, and that would be borderline selfish to hide
Mm,
something like that. Um, I think, and that's a hard thing to do, is just to speak about the hardest parts in your life.
yeah.
Not everyone's comfortable doing that. And I wasn't for almost 10 years of my life, but then I realized the importance that I can play and everyone else can play by
Mhm.
sharing those things and talking about them, but giving yourself power over those things. And
Because
having,
here's the thing, people out there, right? They can go see you. You're on a
Mhm.
stage, elevated up on a platform. You're incredibly talented, and they hear you, look at you, see your wife, see your kids, and go, "Yeah, he doesn't get me. He's got like
Yeah.
his dream came true and the perfect life." And
Hmm.
I think a lot of times we will do that to people, not realizing there are, yes, you're up there and your name is out there and you're putting your talent out there for great reasons.
For sure.
There's a lot that goes on in our lives, and we need to remember that no matter who is the focus is or the spotlight's on, every single person has their struggles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think it's probably even more impactful when seeing you now and then you say, hey, but wait, there's more to the background here. I think that can have such a huge impact on people and in their own journey. It doesn't matter where they are in life. We all need encouragement.
Right.
And so I love that. I love that you're sharing that. And I've heard you share it on stage, and you do, and you're the real deal and you live it out. And that's huge to me. I love meeting people who are living their faith
Mm.
and living by it, even when it's a struggle. And when we admit we're having a struggle, that's when people can relate to it.
Yeah.
Um, it's we can't we can't live like with a false sense of, oh yes, my life's all perfect. We just can't.
It can feel like you are living two different lives.
Yeah,
One that you're living in your home, and then when you leave your house and you're in front of other
exactly.
people. And that's one thing that tortured me. Like,
Yeah,
my whole goal now is to wake up and leave my house the same exact person, stay the same person,
yeah,
regardless of, whatever I'm doing. If I'm on stage, like, I'm literally a dad, I'm a husband, like,
yeah.
here's what happened in my day today. Sometimes, and I literally just did this at a writer's round um, last week. I showed up on stage and, um, unfortunately, last week, I lost my best friend, and it's been
No.
yeah. I should have give you a little heads up on that. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
word. No.
But ultimately, yeah, he was a lot to me and my family.
Mm.
He was uncle to my kids, um, brother to my wife. Like, we
I'm
were
so
that was
sorry.
well. It's just amazing to see what the community that we have built. They're the friends that invite us to Conduit Church. Right after I was saved,
Yeah.
and so that's been really heavy this past week. And I played a writers round about like 4 days after it because I'd already committed to it. So I went, and same thing. I shared on stage. I
Mm.
cried pretty much halfway through my second song, the whole song out, and um, but that's just who who I feel like I need to be all the time, like on stage, off stage. It doesn't
Oh my
matter.
gosh. Okay, Connor, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss because
I
that's
appreciate that.
even when we know where they're going, where it's still hard.
Yeah,
Grief is unbelievable, and people who are that close to us, it's just stunning.
yeah.
And life will never be the same. You learned, I say, the grief is it's such a journey, and you see, I'm getting teary.
It's all right. It's all right. I've been crying for
um,
almost a whole week now, so
and
it's
I've
all
heard
right.
it described as like waves. Like, you don't expect it. You can be going along in life and then a wave comes out of nowhere. And I try now. I mean, my dad's been gone for almost 20 years. And I still, this year in particular, I've had moments and I go, okay, stop. You know, think back, find a happy memory, and then also go, I'm so grateful that I had him in my life. And I wouldn't want him here like he was because he was really suffering.
Mhm.
Um, you have to keep doing it because it's not like this magical thing that happens because it's hard. But the fact that you were on stage and now here and you're sharing that, and how many people, we all lose people.
Mhm.
My oldest friend in life just lost two of her siblings this week,
Oh my goodness.
and it's just I didn't even, you don't have the words for it. It's just so overwhelmingly sad, and everybody can relate to losing someone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the fact that you shared that, that will resonate and help people know it's okay. I can be sad.
Mhm.
I can miss them. And guess what? Maybe they have a different outlet. Maybe they write down what they're feeling. Maybe they write a letter to that person and you get up and perform
Yeah.
deep, heartfelt, incredible songs that you've written. And that's kind of your way to cope.
It has been for since I was 19.
And that's okay. So
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that. And again, I'm very sorry
Yeah. No, I
for
appreciate
what
that.
you're walking through. And I also think it's a good reminder that we all have to find our ways to walk through grief or woundedness or hard times.
Mhm.
So, what do you feel like what triggers that in you to say, I'm going to write a song about blank, whatever the blank is? Do you have a process? Do you have I'm just curious to know how that comes about and out of you. Do you like have a moment and you go, I'm hurting so badly. I have to figure out how to put this in a song, and maybe it's just for you,
For sure.
or maybe it's something you write and you release it. I don't know.
Yeah. It's incredible to watch like everybody's writing style in
Mhm.
Nashville. Like, I've
Yeah.
written so many awesome people now. Like, it's just never that I imagined I'd be in some of the rooms I've been in.
That's
It's
so
just so
cool.
wild, but it's just the craziest turn of events. But it is cool to watch. I'm an emotional reader, so like, and when I'm around, like my wife is, like I said, she's it's scary how sharp she is. Like she can talk to someone for 5 seconds and be like, I already know their intentions.
Wow.
I know, all these,
Yeah,
and it's like
that's
she's just
great.
very, she's the highest level of discernment I've ever met. And we joke about that one time because I'm gonna answer your question,
Yeah,
but we joke
go.
about this a lot because uh I've always been the more artsy one, and
Mhm.
she's the
Yeah.
more like, hold our life together one. And
It
so
takes both.
honestly, yeah, yeah, makes life happen. And
Yeah, yeah,
um
details.
yeah. But it's funny because like I watch how people's personalities uh create their music. Like
Yeah,
in the song field, I watch how, like for me, I'm such an emotional person that when I get a song idea, it has to start with something that sounds so generic but real. I have to
yeah.
have something truly hit me, like an emotion, a song, a melody
Mhm,
or a lyric or
mhm.
something has to be tied to a moment that I felt, something
Mm,
real. Like I
kinda has
know,
to resonate.
yes, I
Yeah,
know so many people that are great at, um, just hooks, and um, there's a lot of wit in their writing, and it's incredible to watch. Uh, but I guess that's why there's different genres, because like
yeah,
the emotion in it, sometimes I feel
sure.
like coming from another writer might not be there, but it's like it's
Mhm.
so hooky, it's so good. Uh, and not saying one is better than the other. It's just
Yeah,
different writing
it's just
styles.
different. Yeah.
And so it's incredible when you get someone like that, and you start creating something. I pitch an idea, and they're like, I feel that idea. Like they get
Mhm.
impacted emotionally by it. And then with their skill and my skill, if there's a third writer in the room, you just watch what God does, like how he just pieces things together. Like like it's amazing to physically feel God present in the room when you're writing something that everyone is bringing their gift together to make it
Love that.
happen. And so my wife and I joke about that because she is a doctor, so she clearly knows the body, the brain, and all these things, and it's amazing. And she's incredible at what she does. Um, and one night I told her, like, I'm just as smart as you. And she's like, she's respectful. She's funny. It's funny how she answered it, but like, we got into a conversation about it. I said, my brain is just working so much harder in a different area than yours is. And and not going too much into, her story to share, but there's a lot in her life too that has been, you know, uh, emotionally taxing on her. She's been through
Mhm.
things herself, so it's amazing to see, like, her gift is just like organization, memory, all these things, but she also
Wow.
has that heart, and how
Uh-huh.
she shows it is like, well, look at that, like providing a beautiful life for our two boys, like
Mhm.
never giving up on me in our marriage through the hardest times. Like she has incredible grit and wisdom,
Mm.
and I've just seen that since I was 15, and that's why I told her, like, I'm gonna marry you. I knew the second day that I met her. I'm like, I know.
That is
It's
crazy.
sophomore year, I saw it. I'm like, I
That's
see all
crazy.
these things in you. So,
I love it.
but it's incredible. Yeah, that's kind of my process, is get an emotion. Like I already have written about half a song for my friend that passed, and because that
Uh,
night it used to have feels it would have felt like selfish to, or um, I don't have the right word for it yet, but it would have felt wrong basically to just sit down and be like, let me write a song out of this. Um,
oh, I see what you're saying, but I
yeah,
don't think that's selfish. I think that's who you are. You're a writer, and so
yeah.
that's a coping mechanism too.
Well, I mean, just like
You know?
the turnout of a song, regardless of, like, this song that I'm writing, like, is I'm literally just writing it to produce it and hand it over to his wife, and just
Mm.
so she can have it. Like, I don't even want to release it unless she wanted it out there, but
Oh
I
my
just want her to
word.
have it to listen to.
What an amazing gift to give someone.
It's the only one I got.
Yeah, well, but
That's
that's the
all I
thing.
got.
That's what's huge. You're using the gifts you have, and I
Yeah.
love that. And not only that, but if she were to say, "Hey, I do want you to be out there." I mean, again, the impact not for, "Oh, look at Connor and this great story he has about the song," but the impact of, "Hey, this is one of the most important people in my world,
Mhm.
and this rocked me so deep. Here's what came out of it." And so if you're sitting there in a similar place or you know someone,
Mm.
For me, I mean, I've always loved music and been in music my whole life. A lot of people haven't, but I think, they call it the universal language for a
Mhm.
reason.
That's right.
And I think that, like, in my Christian worldview, I know that music is from God. It's a creation from God and it's beauty in our world. And I really believe that music can stir in anyone, whether you really love music or not.
Absolutely.
I think it really resonates within us. And
Absolutely.
so, you think of the memories like all through your life and you think about a song or a memory and, a school dance that,
Mhm.
with your high
Yeah.
school person and I think that having songs for hard times too is just as important. It's very healing.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
where I was getting.
Yep.
I think that song is going to be healing for you and for his wife
I pray so. I
and
really do.
potentially for others. You don't know.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that you were doing that because I think that's a beautiful way to show an example of you have a gift, how you're using that gift, and you're working on yourself with it
Yeah.
and y'all are loving her well through that. I can't even imagine if somebody wrote a song for someone I cherished
Mm.
as
See,
a gift to say, "Hey, here's what I have." I don't Okay, this is gonna sound so weird, but I think you'll get it.
hopefully.
Oh, you will. I think you
Go
will.
ahead.
But
Let me
like
hear it.
what just popped in my head
Yeah.
is I think it's called The Little Drummer
Yeah.
Boy.
Okay.
What is and I'm trying to remember the song, what he had to bring the baby in the manger was his drum, playing
Mhm.
his drum.
Yep. For sure.
I
Everybody's
don't
got a
know
piece
why that
something.
just triggered that in my brain. I'm like, we give what we have. We offer what we have. So, thank you for that example.
Sure. Something just popped into my head. Like,
Uh-huh.
uh, I'm so new on this journey. Like, it's only been since February 2022 that I've been following Jesus.
Wow.
So, later in life, my whole life shifting is sometimes you feel like you're growing faster than you are. And
Mm,
I really like, hopefully, like, if this encourages anyone in any way,
yeah.
I say this, I use this phrase all the time. And now I can't say it anymore when I play live because I used to say, um, like my guitar, like it was my crutch until it became my weapon. And I was in such a
Ah.
bad place and hurt that like, that's how I just got all my emotions out through the guitar and like
Mhm.
I felt better sometimes. Um, and then I grew into a spot where I thought, well, now I'm just using it to help other people. Like that part of my life is over.
Wow.
And you just said it in a way that I didn't even realize this. Then took this past week to show me I can get, you can jump right back into it. I think that everyone has their way to grieve, and everyone has a way to process things. It was how foolish of me to say, it's no longer my crutch because it still is sometimes. Like it's this song,
Mm.
it is my crutch right now. It is helping me process through this and think of memories with him, and so eventually maybe it'll turn into a weapon, for the kingdom
Yeah,
purposes.
I think it is.
But, yeah, so I don't think
And you know
I
what?
can't use that phrase anymore.
I don't sorry.
No, it's all
I
right.
don't
I'm happy. That's just wisdom that I'm gaining. It's like I
I
said, this is
don't
a new
think
journey.
crutch is a bad way to put it with I think it's a crutch that's been transformed maybe from something that used to be used, I don't know, in weak when you were weak
Yeah,
and you're
100%.
using it in strength now when you're feeling weak. I think there's a difference.
Mm,
You know where your strength comes from and you're
yeah.
feeling weak because loss does that and we're going to feel weak. And I think that that's just a way for you to work through that even more.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I guess it's just before I didn't invite God into that moment, so it's kinda like
Yeah,
voodoo-ish. I was giving the guitar my energy and, like, all
that's
these things.
interesting.
It was like a
Yeah,
worship of this guitar, this non-living
kind of like a
object.
little idol
Yeah. Yeah,
in a way.
all I really had in life, so it really
Yeah,
wasn't working. That's why music turned so toxic because I was not inviting God into those moments of writing music. And now that I do, it brings out an entirely different song.
Okay, that's truly incredible and inspiring to look at that and the instrument that you used. Now, God was using all along. You just didn't know it.
I had no clue. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so wow. Hadn't this been great? I
That's a
told
great
y'all
point.
you were going to walk away inspired. So, um, share with us. I know you're going to do a song. I'd
Mhm.
love to hear a little bit about the story behind the song, and then you're going to play us out. And
Sure.
because I can't wait for people to hear you.
Yeah. Um, so I'm gonna play a song that I have out there right now. It's called "Making Me a Man,"
Okay.
and after 10 years of marriage and the hell we went through to
Mhm.
get our marriage back to where it should be with God,
Mhm.
we wanted children, and I won't share certain things because it's more so my wife and I should share those things together.
Mhm.
But we just we didn't have any children for the first 10 years of our marriage. We didn't know why. We looked into uh, adoption after I was saved, and it was such a short period of time because less than oh man, terrible time frames. 2 3 months after being saved, we got pregnant with Hudson, and don't know, well, I know now how that happened, and
Mhm.
just God knew I needed to know Him before my kids knew me, and
Mm.
that's where the song came out of. I got into a songwrite with two guys, Jason Severe and Foster Farrell, and I've written so many songs with Foster now, and we went into songwrite. I didn't know either one of them. It got set up by a publisher in Nashville
Mhm.
that Foster's with, and we sat in the room kicking around ideas for about an hour and just really nothing. And
Mhm.
then we just started talking about our family, and we realized all of us are dads of boys the same age roughly, and Hudson was like 18 months or less
Mm.
at the time.
Mhm.
And then that's all. This song just came out, and not even like it's like the best song in the world. I just it is the song, my testimony as a father. I would not love my kids and appreciate my boys if I didn't have God in my life, and so as much as if I didn't have God in my life, because I
Mhm.
wouldn't understand the purpose behind having children.
Ah, yeah.
So that's kind of where all that came from. So
Awesome.
hopefully, it's just a testimony of strength to people that either are fathers or want to be or will become fathers. Um, that it's possible. It is so possible to be enjoying and just savoring and loving every moment with your children, and even through frustration, even through all the
Love
the
that.
things you might have to give up. Like the first line in the song is, "I don't miss my motorcycle,"
Okay, I can't wait to hear this.
but that's the things you give up are you're not actually giving anything up. You think of it that way sometimes, but you find out there's nothing you're giving up when you have children.
Okay,
So
that's really encouraging for all the parents out there.
yeah,
I know.
just got to
I
see it
know.
clear sometimes. Sometimes it's not so clear when they're three
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
house is being torn apart and you're trying to deal with a 1 year old at the same time. It's a
Yep.
lot. It's a lot, but
All right. Well, can't wait to hear it.
let's do it. Alrighty. I don't miss my motorcycle. It can stay out in the shed. 'Cause he goes where I go these days, so we take the truck instead. And everything that seemed important don't seem to matter now. 'Cause every day I spend with him, the more I figure out. It ain't reeling in a big one, it ain't taking down a buck. It's teaching him to bait the line and how to clean the gun. And it's showing him when to take the punch and when to take a stand. Lord, learning how to raise this little boy, it's making me a man. And I've been closer to his mama and talking more to you. I've been careful with the words I say and things he sees me do. And he's so patient with me, Jesus. He's been showing me your love. And we've been reading through your book each night. Guess we're both growing up. And And it ain't reeling in a big one, it ain't taking down a buck. It's teaching him to bait the line and how to clean the gun. And it's showing him when to take the punch and when to take a stand. Lord, learning how to raise this little boy, it's making me a man. It's making me a man. It's making me a man. Making me a man. And even when I dream at night these days, it ain't reeling in a big one, it ain't taking down a buck. It's teaching him to bait the line and how to clean the gun. And it's showing him when to take the punch and when to take a stand. Lord, learning how to raise this little boy, it's making me a man. Making me a man. Trying to make it through the whole thing.
Listen, I've been over here wiping tears.
Oh, man.
That's amazing. I
Thank you.
love that song.
I appreciate that.
Love it. And great message. And thanks so much for all you shared today.
Sure. Well, it means a lot for me to be on here with you also. Thank you very much.
Thank you.